Austin Fury went down in a haze of glory. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and you see it right there. Austin Fury, Carmelo Hayes crashing off the top rope, and it didn't end too well for them. Actually, it ended the match. The referee put the big X up. He called off the match. We've seen the referee looking a little bit worried. We've seen Grayson Waller at ringside looking a bit worried too. Now, I think there's some images going around that make this incident look worse than it is. I mean, when you slow it down, it doesn't really look that bad. We'll have a look at it one more time though. And there you have it. Austin Fury's going for a springboard-like maneuver. I'm assuming he's trying to get him to flip over. He doesn't get the momentum. He doesn't get the bounce off the ropes. And then both men kind of awkwardly come down and clash heads while hitting the mat. And the referee, who I believe is called Ryan Tran, don't know if he's transsexual or not, but whatever, he identified both men as being injured and unable to finish the match, and that was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it, and I'll tell you what, it was the biggest A-Town down I've ever seen, but reality is, I think it's more of a case of it's a double concussion rather than anyone actually landed on their neck. Yes, the slowed down image and the freeze image of Austin Fury, it looks pretty bad. It looks like Sabu and Benoit back in ECW, but in reality, I think that just looks way worse than what it is, and they've just cracked each other, headbutt it. It's like Goldberg and Taker. Well, no, not Goldberg. It was that match, but Goldberg headbutt at the post. You can just tell immediately.
WWE posted the following on Twitter X after the match, and it says, update, following their match on Smackdown, Austin Fury and Carmelo Hayes were evaluated for injuries. They both suffered face contusions and will both be okay. End of quote. And for me, I actually do think this match was called off too soon, especially with it being on TV. The referee never even really gave any chance for the wrestlers to react and see if they were okay. I mean, I understand if it's like a really nasty injury and if it's obvious that someone is hurt. Like, I think when you look at the Giovanni Vinci incident from a couple of weeks ago, he wasn't moving. He was like not able to respond, and he was down for a long period of time on his back, just non-responsive. I can understand that, but both Carmelo Hayes and Austin Fury, they look like they could have just been selling the move at this point. But the referee decided to call it off, and people will say we're in an era now where we care about people's safety, but I mean, I'm from an era where I see Austin break his neck and continue the match. I'm from an era where I see Triple H's leg fucking hanging on by a thread, and he gets up and doesn't even just finish the match, he actually fucking still performs. He's having the walls of Jericho locked in and everything. I'm from that era. I'm not from this era where Sin Cara breaks his finger and cries and calls the match off by himself. I'm not from this era where the referee potentially sees like one little nasty bump and straight away shat his pants and doing an X sign. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to bet good money that Carmelo Hayes was supposed to win this match. I mean, could he simply not have just put his hand over Austin Fury and got the 1-2-3 here and ended it like that instead of this way?
Put it this way, if this is a WrestleMania main event, does the referee do this?
I don't think so. But see, WWE's very prone to this, where they'll just call off the match, they'll throw up the X these days. AEW is the polar opposite. We've seen Sting nearly die, albeit his move actually won the match, but Darby Allin, whiplash off the ropes, near snapped his neck clean in two.
Yeah, well,
when would AEW call off a match? Have they ever even done it?
I think the sweet spot is probably somewhere in the middle. I think AEW is far too dangerous and they continue things when it probably shouldn't happen. But I think WWE are too cautious, and I think this match was definitely called off way too soon. It's not like TNA where, you know, Jeff Hardy came out to the ring off his tits. I agree, that was too far. That shouldn't have been allowed to happen. But could you imagine if that happened in WWE? Jeff Hardy would have been sent home. He wouldn't have been allowed past the curtains.
Yeah, and they both suffered, face contusions, so it's not exactly a concussion, is it?
No, I believe they just had bruises. I think their faces kind of, they headbutt each other, but in the face, if that makes sense.
Aye.
I think so just a little
clean headbutt.
A clash of the faces, and then that was pretty much it. But I think this match could have continued.
Yeah, I think it could have continued, but like I said, whoever's supposed to win could have just put the hand over the other guy here and won. It's a nasty looking spot, and I don't think whoever loses looks weak.
Yeah,
I know Fury's doing the move, but the reality is they both land on their heads, into each other's heads. So for me, I think that it should have finished the match with a pin, not throw up the X.
Then Carmelo Hayes posted a gif on Twitter of The Undertaker sitting up from inside a casket, which I suppose he was trying to say that represents him. I mean, not really, because the match has been called off. You look like a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not pretend that you've been legitimately hurt here and you've recovered from the dead and you have finished the match. No, you had a bit of a nasty fall and the referee decided to call it off straight away.
And I think it cheapens it as well. It's like when you do a big spot at a pay-per-view, it's like why, like last man standing matches, like you don't call it off for spots in that, so why is this getting called off?
I mean, if look at Foley, guy gets thrown off Hell in a Cell and fucking continues. Guy nearly died and continued.
Yeah.
Yet we have this spot where I just don't get it. It's like, even that match with Giovanni Finci, are you telling me that they couldn't have continued that on as a handicap match and just brought a quick end to it?
That's what they should.
Because see, like less than a minute later, Finci actually gets out the ring by himself and walks off. It's not like he was carried to the back here, so how bad was it?
Well, see, the problem is, so I guess if they're supposed to win, even though they did never win without Gunther.
They were never winning that match against Uso and Kofi Kingston, come on.
I know, but let's pretend they were. How weak would it make Uso and Kingston?
They could fucking grab the tights or something.
Cheat. But that's what you need a ring in general.
Like Gunther?
Nah, fucking real, right like an Undertaker, you know. You see if Taker's in that ring, he's not letting that match go. He's grabbing the referee by the scruff. He's like, oh, fuck.
Imagine if Taker was in a match, world title match or something like that, and the referee calls it off. The streak's on the line and the referee's like throwing up the X.
See if the doctor was running out and it did that fucking run off the ropes and landed on.
Look at when Taker
getting in the ring.
Look at when Taker was doing the chamber thing, he burnt himself, he just continued, went straight in as if nothing happened.
Well, they're real men.
You know,
the real stars of yesteryear.
And that,
got the job done.
This isn't me saying that, you know, we should be endangering wrestlers or whatnot. I'm not saying that, but this match was called off way too quick, in my opinion, without even seeing if these two guys could continue.
Well, look how fucked Goldberg was, right, against Taker. They didn't call that off. Even though if they did, I could have accepted it, because I don't think Goldberg knew where he was, and he near killed Taker. But it's like, it's because it's Goldberg Taker. The ref's never going to throw up the fucking X. This is a Diddy match.
Throwaway SmackDown match, so the X is going up, guys. Anyway, that's it. We don't agree with it, but whatever. Hopefully both guys are alright. That's the main thing, but I just think we're in an era in wrestling right now where no one really respects these wrestlers. No one really thinks they're stars. No one really would even consider them to be anywhere near the guys of previous years, and it's things like this that I don't think help.
No.
This just does not happen back in the day.
They're not respected. Back in the day, the referee would have been fucking scared to call off a match with people who are semi-over. And also your mid-carders.
The only time a match got called off back in the day was when someone was dead or legitimately paralysed or some shit like that.
Nah, like Draws.
Owen Hart, that was it. I mean, there's so many instances where people are like legitimately got serious fucking injuries yet they still see out the match. But today it's like anything goes wrong, the big X goes up. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. You know, like they used to say, it's not ballet. This is a serious business. You need to...
This is entertainment, but the hazards are real.
I think it's dumb, though, to expect to have, what, 360... How many wrestling shows do they have every year? So you've got close to, what, say 52. So what?
Factor in live events, you know, it's crazy.
Alright, let's say just 250... Is that fair to say? Maybe 250?
Aye.
250 shows a year, and for you to expect not to get little minor bumps like this, or minor injuries like this, or minor scares like this, it's just not going to fucking happen, so I don't get it. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know what you think down below. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.